I would like to thank all of you guys for coming out here tonight to see my brother's sentencing. Unfortunately, the jury came back with a life sentence, so Brandon's going to be going away for a while here. I've been away college for the past couple of months, so I'm going to pretend like I know who helped put all this stuff here together. So, Mackenzie, I wanted to thank you for picking up all the alcohol. I was very mature. Coach Sawhill, the flowers are lovely, absolutely lovely. And Brad Schultz, I think he was in charge of getting on the food here, although we still are missing about 14 dozen snickerdoodles. Not sure where those went. Seriously though, my parents and Chynnelle's parents worked very hard putting all this together, and it looks absolutely great. I know there was a lot of help from some other family members as well, so I just want to thank you guys for that. Getting to myself, I'm Chynnelle Garry, I'm Brandon's younger brother. Tanner's younger brother, and if you want to know anything about myself or Brandon, we're huge family men. It's been like that ever since I can remember. I'm constantly sitting in front of the TV at home, watching old home videos, for hours on end. And I was watching some recently, and I found a common theme in the videos, and it's that no matter what Brandon had going on any given day, he would always make sure that his little brother had something to do as well. As young as I was, he would always make sure that I was allowed to tag along with him, and I appreciate that. Growing up with Brandon, I always looked up to him. If Brandon had a dirt bike, I wanted to get a dirt bike. Brandon liked the new song, I learned every single word of that song. Anything he did, football, baseball, anything, I wanted to be just like him. Even though half of the home videos end with me trying to kick Brandon in the head, crying on the ground, that's just part of growing up in our household. So, I look at my groomsmen up here today, and I see a lot of Brandon's childhood friends. Kazmersky, Brett, Ryan, and I think that Brandon once again has pulled off a way to let me tag along. He didn't have to let me be up here, he didn't have to have me be his best man, but he was just taking care of his brother one more time, and I really appreciate that, I do. Brandon and I stayed very close growing up. Fun fact, we actually had bunk beds, and for whatever reason, I still don't know, we decided to sleep in the same bed for about 9 years. We didn't actually use the bunk beds. We would talk for hours every night about how we were the last ones left in gym class playing dodgeball, and we had to rescue the team. And once again, I'm the young kid, so I'm making up stories like, oh yeah, I caught a ball with my teeth and threw it back. And Brandon probably knew that I was making up those stories, but it always made me feel real encouraged about it. Oh, that's awesome, that's awesome. So we're growing up, like I said, and all of a sudden, I swear, all of a sudden it's just bam, Chynnelle's coming around a lot more often. But back then, she wasn't Chynnelle, she was the girl across the alley who had the trampoline that I wanted to jump on every single day. So, I mean this, I wish I had a story I could tell you about how I first met Chynnelle, but I was drowning in my backyard and Chynnelle came Baywatching over across the alley and just saved me. A story like that doesn't exist because Chynnelle's been a part of my life for so long, it's weird if she wasn't in the picture, honestly. At the time when Brandon and Chynnelle first started dating, I remember thinking to myself, this girl's trying to steal my brother. What's going on? I don't like this. I would constantly come running into the house and, oh, Brandon, never guess what? Hey, Chynnelle. And we all know Chynnelle's little innocent voice. She would always look back at me with that grin right there and say, hey, Tim. I'd always walk out of the room like, I hate you. So they continued dating, and Brandon gave me several reasons to look up to him during high school whenever he grew up. There's so many stories I could tell you, but one that just comes to mind. I was watching Brandon wrestle, and for those of you who don't know, Brandon was always worth the price of admission at a wrestling match. You never knew what was going to happen. One time, I'm seeing Brandon wrestle, he gets twisted in a weird way, and for those of you who have a weak stomach, I'm sorry, but Brandon's kneecap was on the side of his leg, okay? And at that time, before the trainers could get out to him, Brandon remembered his 8 years at Harvard Medical School and decided that he was going to put his kneecap back into place in the middle of the mat, which he did. Brandon got pinned 18 seconds later. But at At that point, I swear to God, I looked at him, I said, I got some big shoes to fill whenever I get up to high school, man, and I hope I did my best. I really do. Sorry if this is dragging, but this is probably the most important moment in my life with Brandon right here. So I remember getting ready to go to college, and leaving for Bowling Green. And I remember saying goodbye to my sister Mackenzie, and I remember saying goodbye to my mom. I'm going 4 hours away, which is tough for a homebody. And I walk outside, and I see Brandon standing in the driveway, and I go to give him a hug. I swear to God, I felt like someone punched me square in my stomach. You gotta quit crying, Brandon. Knowing Brandon's ways, I kind of took a step back to make sure he actually didn't punch me in the stomach. Something that he would have done right before I got off to college. So I leave, I'm worked up in the car, I'm crying my eyes out. My dad tells me, we don't have to go, we can stay here. I say, no, we gotta go. So, and something, my mom goes back inside, and Brandon, who isn't really an emotional person, Brandon's just as worked up as I am, from what my mom said. From his words exactly, he said that he felt like his throat dropped from the top of his neck down to his stomach, and just a pit formed in the bottom of his gut. Whenever I heard that, that's what made it something that I'll never forget, that Brandon felt the same way I did whenever I finally said goodbye to him. All those years we spent together were put into one hug, and thinking back to that day, I'm happy that Brandon had someone like Chynnelle to turn to whenever he needed her. And like I said, I'm happy that Brandon has someone to turn to, because I truly, truly envy what you two have. I truly do. High school sweethearts. What could be better than marrying your high school sweetheart? You know everything about each other. So I just want to say, like I said, that I truly envy you two. Please take care of what you have, and congratulations, you guys truly, truly deserve it. Thanks. So.
And because in 22 years, that might be the best man speech I've ever heard. Great job, Dan and Timmy. I thought I was crying, something now. Can everybody raise their glass for the bride and groom? Let's toast them. Let's toast Tanner too, he did a great job. If I don't know what he's majoring in college, but if that doesn't work out, I think journalism might be